Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Naseko Paps. Today I'm going to show you how I make my homemade pizza. So to start with ingredients, you have flour, yeast, baking powder, sugar, salt, warm milk, 1 egg, mozzarella cheese, toppings of your liking, onions, tomatoes, tomato paste, and garlic. For the topping of my liking, I used meat and bacon and sausages. So that's what I mostly use at home when I'm making the pizza. So to start, I'm going to add flour, then in a basin or wherever you want to mix it. Then I'm going to add salt. That's me adding salt. Then I add sugar, 1 teaspoon of sugar or 2. Sugar, I added 2 teaspoons of sugar. Then I added yeast. Teaspoons of yeast. And then I'm adding a teaspoon of baking powder. After adding all those, I mix them together. So that's the process of making the pizza dough. So I added sugar, salt, yeast, and baking powder to start with. Then I'm going to add one egg. I put it in the mix of the flour that I already prepared. And then I'm going to add some warm milk. The milk was warm. I'm adding warm milk to mix the dough. So I mixed the dough. The dough is just made like the way you make maybe mandazi or chapati dough. You mix it until it's how you like it. So after mixing the dough, I covered it and kept it aside to cook. Then here I started preparing my toppings. I started with meat because I had to cook it. You have to use meat which is cooked if you're using meat, so you pre-cook it. So that's me cutting the beef. It was beef meat that I was going to use. I cut it. I realized, by the way, do you have this knife sharpener to use at home? That's the knife sharpener that I usually use at home. I realized that my knife was not sharp enough, so I had to sharpen it again and then continue cutting my meat. After I finished cutting my meat, I put it in a sufuria. Took a sufuria and put it, and then started boiling it so that it can be cooked by the time we are finishing preparing our pizza. After that, I'm preparing the sausages. I always remove the skin part of the sausage when I'm preparing pizza, so that's how I remove it. And then I cut it into small pieces, and that was part of my topping. As I said, I use meat, sausages and bacon for my toppings, but those are optional. You can use the toppings that you like or you'd love to try, but for me I used those three: meat, sausage and bacon. In this case, I only used 3 sausages. It was not a big pizza, so I only used 3 pieces of sausage. After cutting the sausages, you can see I've cut them into small pieces and I've kept them. I took my bacon and I started preparing my bacon. I cut it into small pieces just like the sausages also. I used half of that bucket of bacon to prepare for the pizza sauce and remained the other half, so you can cut it into small pieces or the sizes of pieces that you would love. It's strict bacon, so you can decide how you want it to be. After that, I put them in a pan, the bacon together with the sausages, so that I can also cook them. So remember, you have to use cooked ingredients, because when you put the pizza in the oven, it does not take a lot of time to cook. So you have to cook whatever you are using so that you cannot eat raw toppings. So as the meat and the toppings were cooking, I decided to prepare the paste. The paste is the the thing that you see at the bottom of the pizza. So I used 2 tomatoes and Hoho, the green one, the green Hoho, and I cut them into small pieces because I had to blend them. I used a blender to blend them, so I cut them into small pieces. And in that mixture I added garlic. You can add anything that you like for the taste. For me, I added garlic. You can even add ingredients that you would love to use. So for me, I only added garlic and Royco cubes, that is, and that's what I added. I also started preparing the onion for them to cook. I also cook them, the paste. Let me cutting the onion that I used to prepare the paste. So to get that fine paste, I used blender to blend them all. I mixed them all and then I blended them to get the fine taste to use on the pizza. after that, you can see everything is cooking. I'm preparing everything so that we can finish preparing our pizza. That's the bacon and the sausage is cooking. I usually add a little amount of oil or sometimes none. So you cook them well until it's done. As you can see, everything was cooking nicely. You can see the sausages and the bacon already and started turning golden brown, or the end already started cooking. You can see also my paste on this other side, it's also cooking and boiling, and the meat was on that other sufuria here, it's already cooked. So what's remaining was the cheese. I use mozzarella cheese. I think that's the best for pizza. I don't know, maybe you can suggest any other cheese that people use, so but I use mozzarella. And what I do is I cut it and then grate it so that it can be spreaded evenly. So that's how I grate it with a grater. If you don't have a grater, I don't know, you can melt it maybe, but I grate it like that so that it can be evenly spread on the pizza. You can choose the amount you want to use depending whether you like a lot of cheese. Some people don't love a lot of cheese in their pizza, so it depends with the amount of cheese that you'd like to use. So that's the amount that I used. It was not a lot, it was just enough for what I wanted. So you can see my dough is already cooked. That's it, you can see. So the remaining thing was to roll it and make it into a circle. You can even make a square pizza if you want. It's homemade, it's not like you are selling it to somebody, it's for you to eat. So whichever shape you would like to make it, so it's upon preparing the pan, I usually used my normal pan, the one that came in my oven. So that's what I usually use. I've not bought any special tools or sufurias or pans to make the pizza. So I sprinkle some oil and some dough, and then I put it on top like that. So I realized that the dough that I needed is a bit bigger than the tray that I was using, so I had to fold it the side so that it can fit. Yeah, like that. You just work with what you have. And then after that, I spreaded my paste, the one that I had already cooked. You spread it evenly and nicely, the way you would love it. I added my toppings. I started with the meat, although you can add them in any way. So I added the meat, then I add the mixture of bacon and sausages. You just spread them evenly the way you want, or it's better you spread them evenly. So I added all my toppings, and then After adding the toppings, I started spreading the cheese like that. So I evenly spreaded the cheese on top of the pizza, and that's how I make my homemade pizza, guys. So after that, you bake it for about 15 minutes in a preheated oven. So I baked it for 15 minutes at 180 degrees, and it was done. So thank you for watching, guys. That's how I make my homemade